Hey everybody, Beyond You 89 here, bringing you a new Planet Coasters series. This is going to be a recreation, or tried to recreation to pretty close to scale, of a coaster called the Demon in Six Flags Great America in Gurnee, Illinois, which is just outside Chicago. And that's my home park, if you will, so I've been there quite a number of times since I was a young lad, so I'm pretty familiar with the park and the rides in it. And yeah, so this coaster here, the Demon, or as it was originally called Turn of the Century when it opened in 1976. This was my first coaster I went on that had loops, so it's a big deal for me. It's always been one of my favorite coasters. It's nothing special. It's pretty old, it's pretty head rattly, it's pretty crappy, to be honest with you, but the fact that it was my first upside down coaster, it will always hold a special place in my heart. So, you know, I figured I'll try my best, I'll try my hand at recreating this to scale, and doing that has definitely been a bit of a challenge for me. While this is a very easy layout, it is a very simple arrow looping coaster, trying to get everything in this game, especially for the coasters and everything, to scale has just really given me some headache here a little bit. And it's been a really nice learning experience for me, especially when I'm trying to get everything perfectly height proportioned and whatnot. It's definitely helped my skills out as a builder to yeah, get everything looking just how it is on whether it's Google Maps, Google first person view, I know it's not called that, but you know, whatever it's called, and going off the very limited photos as well. So it's been a lot of fun to try and recreate this, and yeah, it's coming along pretty nicely. But yeah, I figured I'd give a little bit of stats about this coaster just in case you're not familiar with it. I kind of harped back a little bit, but it opened originally as called Turn of the Century in 1976, so it's been around for a minute here. And when it originally opened, it only had these, I think you can see them here, the two double corkscrews, interlocking corkscrews. It didn't have the two original loops in it. Those weren't added until about 1980-ish. For the season, and yeah, then it had 4 inversions total, and that's how the layout is today. A lot of the changes came about for a retheming of the coaster to be called the Demon. It even has its own kind of like a custom song that goes with the coaster and everything, and it's this coaster is really fun at Halloween time because they kind of gussy it all up, go with the name of it, you know, the Demon, so they kind of make it look kind of scarier a little bit, have more fog and lighting, and they play this old cheesy 80s tune in the queue line and whatnot, and it's overall it's a really good time with this this old classic coaster. And but yeah, so I mean, that's a few stats there for you. And the highest drop for it is only 90 feet with a max speed of 50 miles an hour. So it's, like I said, it's not breaking any records. I think maybe when it first opened and they added in the 2 other loops, it may have been tied for like the most inversions on a coaster in the world, but I could be way off on that. And yeah, it has a track length of 2,130 feet. I don't know what that is converted into normal metrics and whatnot, but y'all can do that. And but yeah, so like I said, I'm doing this all to scale, trying to at least, and that also includes doing it also supported in scale and whatnot. So the supports that come with the in-game for aero coasters of this kind are, for lack of better words, really wrong and not good. So we're going to kind of transfer into that here. You can see I had to kind of make the supports custom, and this has been fun, to say the least. It's been a little bit aggravating at times, but it's definitely, like I said, this whole thing has just been helping me out as a builder personally. So yeah, building custom supports like this, it's been interesting to try and get it exactly how I'd want it to, and it's just taking a lot more time and a lot of looking at reference photos, as I'm doing here as the game is paused, to try and get these exact, because they're not all exactly just square boxes like this with cables running through them. A lot of them are, but there's a lot of little just nuances of different cables running everywhere, different tubes of supports running different places, and they're not all consistently the same. And I kind of talked about this a little bit. There's not the most great reference photos or videos to go off of this. There's a lot of on-ride footage to go off of, so that is fine. But as far as off-ride, the ride is kind of positioned in a weird spot in the park where it's kind of surrounded by a few trees and a little bit of woods, and it's also surrounded by a train that goes, excuse me, right next to it. And it kind of is bordering up against a land transition between like two themed lands. So the most that you can get as far as pictures and video of this thing are kind of in front of it looking, but it's really hard to explain. It kind of goes in between trees and hillsides and stuff like that. So there's probably like two areas of the coaster that you can get really good views of it, which is the lift hill. And then from the queue you can see the loops, and then it does some path interaction near the end of the ride, near the interlocking corkscrews. But other than that, there's not a lot of really great detailed photos. And so yeah, a lot of this is going off my own memory. And but yeah, I think we're coming along pretty nicely here. So yeah, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and let the video play out the rest of the time. It only has a few minutes left here, but yeah, I appreciate any comments concerning how you think the recreation is coming. If you've ever been on this ride, I'd like to know, when is the first time you went on this ride, and what do you think of it today? I haven't been on it personally in about 2 to 3-ish years, because I was living in Denver and I just recently moved back to the Chicago area, so hopefully I can go on this summer. But I know that they added VR to it. I don't know if that's still a thing, but personally, I won't be doing the VR because I don't really see the point of having VR in a roller coaster, because it's already a freaking roller coaster. Anyways, that's my own personal thing. But yeah, I hope to get on it this summer here. But yeah, I'd like to know if you've been on this ride before. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? And yeah, again, I really appreciate everyone kind of joining in on this new Planet Coaster series. We should have about another video or two of this recreation, and also look out for a new episode of Cold Creek Park coming out soon. And yeah, appreciate all of the support for the channel, and like I said, just keep your eyes out for more content coming soon. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next recreation video, and hopefully the next Cold Creek Park episode, and any other content that comes out on the channel. But until then, I hope everyone has a great day, great evening, great night, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye bye.